Nothing better to start the day off like a Mountain Dew. Tell you what. This is my car. It's a 96 Civic. It hauls the mail. This thing will go 0 to library faster than you could say library. So you better watch out, because I'm coming to your track. I'm gonna run really fast times in my Honda.
So in the last video, you guys saw that I had straightened the frame rails on the car with my tractor and truck. And the reason we did that is just because they didn't line up real great. They made it real hard to line up the front end. But now everything seems to be a little bit better aligned, and the front end seems to fit a little bit better, which is a huge plus. Along with doing that, I was able to cut out the factory cross member. Now, the reason I cut this out is because when I pulled the frame rails over this way, it moved the intercooler mounts and the radiator mounts over as well. So the intercooler doesn't line up with the turbo anymore, and the radiator was kind of close. Well, the radiator fit fine actually, but I would have had to remake the intercooler mounts, and those things suck to mount. I've already rebuilt this one 2 times, when I moved the intercooler over and when I rebuilt the intercooler. So we're going to do it a 3rd time today. Hopefully the 3rd time is the charm, and we're just going to be mounting the intercooler and radiator both to that track bar down there. And with the intercooler, we're going to be remaking the end tanks as well, so that the intercooler will sit further down and not as high up in the bumper like I had it before. So let's go ahead and pull the bumper off and start making the mounts for those. With the bumper off, you guys can get a little bit better idea of what I was talking about. So this factory cross member kind of sat up in here like this, something like that, and it held the radiator and the intercooler. But now what I'm going to do is mount the intercooler with just some tabs coming off of this here, and then same with the radiator. We will probably end up cutting these stock pockets off of here, welding them onto here, and being able to retain the rubber mounting for that. It works really well, and the radiator has just a tiny bit of flex in it so that it doesn't vibrate and crack. I got these radiator pockets kind of cleaned up and ready to weld on, if this thing will focus ever. That white paint that I sprayed the engine bay with, that stuff is some tough paint right there. I had these in my glass bead sandblast cabinet and it would not clean them up. So anyways, I got this 3/8 rod, mild steel rod, that I'm going to weld onto the pockets kind of like this, and those are going to be my standoffs, and then those will just get welded on to the lower cross member over there, and that'll hold the radiator in, and then we will work on the intercooler ones. With the car in the air, I went ahead and welded out the mounting tabs for the radiator. Nothing perfect, but they're good enough to do the job. The good old Miller TIG welder doing work today. Anyways, now that those are on, the radiator sits exactly where I want it, and it's very sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. So next thing we need to do is chop off the end tanks for the intercooler so that we can rebuild it and have it sit a little bit lower in the chassis. It was really high when I first built it, but now I want to lower it down so it doesn't interfere with the bumper as much. And to do that, I'm just gonna try and put this thing into my bandsaw over there. But what I have to do first is chop off these little legs that I used to mount it. These were just some bar stock that I had ran a tap through and then bolted these into the old mounts. So I'm going to cut these off real quick, and then we'll put it in the bandsaw and see if the bandsaw will be able to cut a fairly close line all the way down this thing, and then we will clean it up with a grinder after that. So the noise you hear behind me is the intercooler in the bandsaw. I ended up getting the little tabs cut off of the ends of those so that I could mock it up in there. Then I squared up the blade as best I could to the intercooler and got it set pretty much where I want it. We're still gonna have to do some trim work once it is out of the bandsaw and both the end tanks are cut off, but I will show you guys what we got going on. And once this is done cutting, we'll start mocking up the new end tanks. So as you can see, the bandsaw is just going very slow. I'm cutting right along the edge of this weld here on the core. I'm trying not to cut into the core. I'd rather have to remove material from the side of it than cutting into it and losing material to weld to. but it looks like it's doing a really good job, and I think we'll have very minimal material to clean up. So yeah, probably got another 5 or 10 minutes of this cutting just through this one side, and then we'll start mocking it up and building the new end tanks. So as you guys can see, all that on the ground is aluminum off the intercooler. I showed you guys cutting off the end tanks, and then I went ahead and ground them all down, got all the welds off the side of the core, and it's looking really good. It's not, you know, in new condition, but it is going to work just fine, and it actually turned out better than I thought it was gonna. So that's a huge plus. We're gonna clean it up just a little bit more, just deburr it on the edges, and then put it up in the car, and we will start mocking up the end tanks for the second time. So like I said, both the standoffs are done now. I'm gonna weld them onto the intercooler, kind of where they're at. I think that'll be a good stance for, you know, mounting this thing. Once that's done, I'm probably gonna go grab some food, and it is getting pretty late. It's about 10 o'clock already, or maybe even later. So I'll probably just kind of test fit it a little bit and then call it a night. So the standoffs are now welded onto the bottom of the intercooler. They're looking pretty good. And I've got it up here on my tranny jack, just trying to get the positioning right. I think it looks really good right there. It's gonna be great for this turbo inlet. It's gonna be, you know, lowered. The intercooler is lowered probably about 3 inches to where it was before, and it's gonna sit pretty close in there, so it won't be, you know, sticking out in the bumper too far, which will be great for routing everything. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good right there. I'm gonna get the mounts made for it. I'm gonna do them just like these here, just some little stands, and they'll come out here, and then the intercooler will bolt onto those. Now, the reason I haven't really been filming much of the work is because I forgot my tripod, but I did want to record this for you guys. You guys have been asking for more video. You guys are still interested in the car, so I decided to record this. But like I said, forgot the tripod, so I haven't been able to film much of the work. But tomorrow when we resume on this project, I will have it. Won't be in a new video, it'll be this video, probably in like 5 minutes or something. But yeah, we're gonna get those made, and then I will probably call it a night. Well guys, as you can see, it is 1:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna call it a night. But I do have the intercooler somewhat mounted. I have the driver's side mount done at least. I still have to weld it all out, but it's all tacked in here, and this is what it's gonna look like when it's all said and done. So yeah, just a simple 3/8 bar that comes out to a little tab. The tab has a hole in it for the bolt that goes into the intercooler, and that's really all there is to it. Then I put this gusset in here just so that if the car wheel hops or gets any violent shakes, this thing won't bend it down and, you know, misalign everything, which would suck. So yeah, just an extra little gusset, and I have the other one right here. I'll weld this on tomorrow because, like I said, I'm gonna call it a night. It's late. This custom fabrication, cutting, welding, all this stuff just takes a ton of time. So anyways, we'll finish that up tomorrow. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with how it's turning out and how it's lining up, especially with the whole front end pulled back over to the left like you saw in the last video. Everything is just lining up so much better. So yeah, I'm stoked. And like I said, here in a couple seconds, it'll be tomorrow and we'll get to finishing this thing. And we're back. Literally been 2 seconds, but it is now about 11 o'clock in Wednesday, so technically still the same day. Anyways, today we're going to be finishing up the passenger side intercooler mount, getting the intercooler permanently mounted, and then we're gonna fabricate the end tanks for it real quick. Hopefully we can get that thing completely done today. I do have everything to do it, so hopefully that goes smoothly. And then we're going to be working inside the car. I have a couple of little wiring things I need to finish. I've also contemplated stripping out the interior like 100%, like all the stuff in the back, still leave like the door panels on it and the carpet in the front just to make like the front 2 seats pretty nice, but completely gut the back of the car. So let me know down in the description if you guys want to see that. Also today we need to fix the oil feed line for the turbo. Right now it's kind of like coiled up in the corner. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just really way too long. So I went and picked up a shorter feed line, also some new fittings, because the fittings that are on there have been on there since I built the car and they have seen better days. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I also made sure to bring the tripod today, so we will be able to record all the work we're doing. I know you guys like the time lapses, so we're gonna be able to do that and get some better angles for you today as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Honey, I'm home.
What, dude? Wow, very good job.
Oh, wow.
Wowza. What do? This is animal abuse. Huh, Lucy? Sitting out here in this hot ass car.
Oh, dude, it's
Luce,
65 degrees.
it's freaking 100 degrees out here. My goodness, you're a dickhead.
Don't show them all my trash.
Oh, dude, this car's a mess. Hi, Lucy, come here. Come over here, Luce.
Dogs are freaking out.
So what have you done?
Nothing.
This dude's got a freaking 8.8 axle in the back of this car right now.
We're LS real drive swapping a Cobalt.
Yes.
Actually, I might be able to get it out mostly for myself.
We'll get it done. Good job, kid. Oh, dude, you got that. You don't need me.
Fuck you.
You got it. Come on. See, this is easy. Dude, quit. You're such an idiot. Dude, look what you did. God, you're an idiot.
Hopefully I don't mess up the housing.
Dip. So in case you guys didn't know why Hayden brought his rear end over here, the Ford 8.8, is because we were going to clean it up and sandblast it.
Ow. Hurting arms.
Don't care, get it done today, let's go.
Gotta put my sweatshirt on.
Push. In the middle. Oh, baby. Shut the fuck
fuck up and do your job.
Don't fucking yell at me.
So what are we doing?
Just
Or what are you doing?
measuring out my new end tanks.
I'm the new film crew.
Yeah. Sure.
We're here
Brick that
to
you buy.
we're here to interview. Okay, I'll give you $20 for your tripod.
No, it's worth $100.
Fuck you. They're 100 on Amazon. They're $20 on Amazon.
Fuck off.
But so what are you doing? You're marking out the plates
Yeah, marking out the plates
so we can take them where?
so we can plate them over to PFI. and
We're
we
take
can-
a school trip real quick.
Yeah. And then we can just cut them on their shear, which is a lot freaking easier than doing all this.
Yeah, these two
With a
dad
skill
bods on
set.
that one shear. Oh, that's a party. Make this video 2 dad bods, 1 shear.
We should just start naming all of our videos like, get out of my face. We should make all of our videos just weird, like 2 things, 1 something. You know?
Yeah. It's all upside down.
Alright, so we're getting ready to head over to PFI. I'm gonna go use their shear to cut all this out. But this is all the intercooler end tanks, got them all mapped out on here. I'm gonna bring my other sheet of aluminum just in case I mess this one up, which knowing me, I probably will. So yeah, Dad Bod Squad, we're gonna roll over there real quick.
Get some food.
And do some cool stuff. Dude, I'm down with some food though. Let's go.
Where?
I'll probably just hit Subway to be honest.
Fuck. Subway's nasty. It's white people
Oh,
shit.
fucking idiot. Anyways, so yeah, intercooler is completely mounted. Now we are just doing the end tanks, so we're gonna run over there before they all head out, get these cut out, and then we will pick up on this when those are all done.
Bro.
It's not a crack.
You got a crack.
Dude, it's literally just where the frickin' stuff.
That's a crack.
No, it's not.
What's this?
Oil line.
Why tape?
To know how long it needs to be, I bought a new one.
Oh.
That's not a crack, okay? The metal is still connected there. All it is the seam sealer, and it's stretched, and the paint
broke.
doesn't allow it to stretch, so the paint cracked, and it just looks like it's cracked.
No, I
so
know.
it's all right.
We just had to address that for the
Yeah, so we got a lot of haters that always say it's cracked, and it's not. God, you're an ugly looking son of a bitch.
That's true. That's probably true.
Lucy, why do you even like him?
Come here, Lucy. Lucy, you love me? You love me? Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Your paws are nasty.
How fix autofocus? This is junk. What did you do?
Half press the shutter button.
Half press.
You half press it. It'll focus.
I know, but like, I don't want it to focus like that.
Oh, that's because I don't have it on focus on face.
So as you can see, we are not at PFI speed. We did go over there last night, but it was just super hectic. There was tons of people there. Even at 7 o'clock at night, those guys are always working away. Brent was there tuning 2 different cars. Jamie and Todd were both there working on customers' cars, their own cars, whatever. Just super hectic, so I did not film anything, but I did get all of my pieces cut out for the intercooler, minus 1 piece. I forgot to kind of mark the bottom of the end tanks on one side, so I didn't get that cut, but that won't take very long. I have some more aluminum here at the shop, so I'll be able to cut that out real quick this morning. But without further ado, we're gonna hop into getting these end tanks mocked up. I don't know if I'm gonna fully weld them out. I might take them up to Hayden at our other shop and have him weld them just because that's what he does for a living. I'm sure he can make them look a lot better than I can. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, get these things lined up and at least tacked onto the intercooler, see how everything fits, and then we'll probably run this thing up there and have him start welding on it. So I didn't film much of it, but I got the end tanks kind of mocked up and tacked onto the intercooler and a couple holes drilled. So now I need to fabricate this plate for this bottom end tank. So that one will be finished up. I went ahead and bead rolled this piece of piping and got it cut out so that that will weld on just like so. And then on the old intercooler, I had a 3-inch inlet on it and the turbo was only 2.5 inch, so I had to run a reducer on it. This time I decided to just go 2.5 inch inlet onto the intercooler side so it matches the turbo and I won't have any weird couplers that I'll have to source if one rips. That way 2.5 inch coupler, you can get those all over the place locally. So that's awesome. I'm gonna get picked up now and head up to Hayden and I's other shop so that he can weld this thing out for me. It's not that I can't do it, he's just a better welder, so I'm gonna let him do it. And he just got a new water cooling rig for his welder, so we're gonna give that a shot and see how it works. But yeah, other than that, the car's getting close. We're still grinding on it, trying to get it ready for this weekend, and hopefully we can go race. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up, we're gonna head up there, and we'll start welding this thing out. What do you want? No, come here. Get in here. Boy, all kinds of parts up in here. Tell you what, Luce. All kinds of partsies. Nothing better to start the day off like a Mountain Dew. Tell you what. Alright guys, so I didn't really film it, but I did get back over here to the shop after I had Hayden weld up the intercooler. As you can see, it's on the car, kind of got the bumper up there. I finished modifying the intercooler pipe as well, so that's all done. And yeah, the intercooler fits up really good, has no issues with clearance or anything like that. I got the dump tube kind of back on it under here. This is kind of just temporary. I still want to remake that, but it will work to get it to the track for now. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's looking really good. I'll play a video of it here in just a second on the two-step. I just wanted to try it out, make sure everything was good. So here's that. So like I said, hope you guys enjoyed that two-step. Nothing fancy, just real quick in the garage while I had the car kind of put together. A couple little things I need to finish, and then we're going to the track. Like I said, I'll make sure to get some great footage for you guys of that. Hopefully we can get some lower times, better than a 12.5 this year. We will see. So like I said, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below. And if you have not yet, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and hit that little bell icon so you guys are notified every time I upload a video. Tons more content coming soon. A lot of drag racing, got some cool projects coming up as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to see all that good stuff. But without further ado, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.